That is a big pile of dirt in the warehouse. I'm Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy. This is my channel, Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy. And every single week, all winter long, we have another Aquascape Artist of the Year coming in and showcasing how people can live the aquascape lifestyle in our sandbox studio. Let's check out what the team from Tussey Landscaping created this week. What's up, Weston?
Hey, just relaxing. What's up?
Can you imagine that 4 days ago when you walked in here, this was just a blank canvas, this was just soil, and 4 days later, this is what it looks like.
I admit we kind of went over the top.
Okay, that's a good one. I'm actually going to call this over the top. I honestly don't know what to call this, whether this is the suspended bowls from the rafters or the koi window that's down there with beautiful koi swimming. I mean, it's a pretty incredible design, and the whole point of this was to showcase no limits, anything you wanted to do, you really took it over the top. So what was the concept and the theme that you created back here?
Well, we came in, I actually didn't spend a lot of time like trying to actually put a pencil to paper and figure everything out. I basically landed in Chicago with our team, and we just had a few things like, we thought we would like to do something with bowls. We kind of had this koi window idea, but none of it was set in stone. Sure.
He had a koi window idea, and you said, I want a koi window, and Brian said no. I said, no, I really want it, and Brian said no. And I think the third or the fourth time that he asked, he said, fine. And then we ran out that day, Monday, and we found the only piece of glass that we could find, which was pretty thin.
1/4 inch thick, and we let the liner in the whole time. We just cut it off this morning, just in case.
So it would be okay if it was a little bit thicker outside, but obviously in here we didn't know, but it's holding up. It's spectacular. I mean, I don't know what my favorite feature is about this, whether it's the suspended bowls, which are amazing, whether it's the koi window, which is amazing. I'm not allowed to have a favorite as the Pond Guy. We're going to let you guys vote at the end of all of these things and what your favorite is, but I will definitely say this one is one of my favorites. Why don't you just take us on a tour and let you, the viewer, decide what your favorite part is.
I like this view. Like this view from here, you got the koi window at the bottom. Right there you got a koi swimming in right now. And then you just, your eyes go up to these bowls. What I love about it is like it starts at the top and it just kind of like spreads out as it comes down to the ground. The stuff that's on the ground, those urns kind of tie right in with the bowls. But then this gets intricate over here as well.
I love it. This is the very first time that I've seen that new product installed at Aquascape. That's the first time you've seen it too, because it's a brand new product.
We've never installed them before. Reynolds kind of owned this whole corner over here. He did a fantastic job with just kind of taking this very tight, small corner and turning it into something really cool with these fodders and bowls. This whole thing is a basin. We're standing on top of the whole basin. And then we turn that into a greenery. But I think this view from the patio is my favorite. We sunk the patio down because this is a flat backyard. And to get elevation, you have to sink and build up. So we sunk this down, gives you this like nice contained feel.
And what's nice about it too is not only did we put the outdoor furniture here, but people were sitting on the benches, people were sitting on the walls, and then just looking at the fish. So not only do you have the upper angle, but you have the other angle as well. And because you're raised up, you can see it from the whole back of the house. You'd be able to see through here. Talk a little bit about how you suspended these bowls. Now, people would look at these and they would say, how many people have rafters to hang them from? But you can certainly do something like this on a big branch of a tree.
Yeah, well, this is kind of why I wanted to try it here, because it was the easiest scenario you could do it, with the rafters like that. Joey did this, and Brian did this at a home show one time.
Yep.
To some degree or another, and I wanted to kind of try my hand at it. So we hung these chains, we actually ran plumbing up, coming down, and it just drops down, and so it's all gravity from there. If you had a massive tree or did like a really beefed up pergola like that back
you
there,
could do that.
You could do something like this.
Yep.
It would be difficult to maybe get 15 feet high like those are, but you could definitely do something to that effect.
Yeah, well, and it's just crazy. I mean, it feels like a resort. I mean, this is over the top, but you could do one. You can do at a backyard, you can have one suspended very easily going into a basement or going into a pond. I love the combination of the bowls with the urns and the lighting, because you actually lit up, you actually ended up putting lights inside the bowls, so at nighttime, you just see that it's like almost gold falling down through those lights.
That's right.
So what's so nice is, you know, you have the vertical element with the Mongolian basalts with the fire element, but then right next to it, you got a very small little waterfalls coming out of one of the patio pods right there, and it's just very tranquil, and I love the combination. So when you're looking at the different areas, you wanted something on this turn. I know as an artist that you said, I just don't want stone here, I want something to draw you in, and that's why you created this.
And we also wanted to kind of like give this idea that the fountain thing is kind of like is just flowing out into the landscape.
So it just doesn't stop there, there's another one over here.
Exactly. I think with artistry or anything creative, like contrasting elements are what create interest and make it beautiful. You want the crashing water and the serene, tranquil water to contrast. You want the ornamental elements of the bowls and the urns to contrast with the natural elements of the stumps and rock. You know, to me, that's what makes things interesting. Like, some people are like, oh, I want everything to match. To me, that's the most boring thing you could do.
Yeah, and like, nature wouldn't be that way either.
Exactly. So contrasting, whether it's with sound or with the natural, with the ornamental, is a great way to really bring some life to a design.
Absolutely. So I like how you come down here, you got this sunken feeling here, like you said, all of the bowls. This is a beautiful waterfalls. And this is one of the things, I guarantee you, when you guys saw this rock, you said, how can we get it? Because it looks like the water eroded away, and that's what's left with the stone.
Yep, and I love the stone right behind it, where it's just not even a waterfall, it's just like this stream ripple.
And then you got the vertical elevation, and I love the use of, this is the first time I've seen the actual Mongolian basalt rocks with the fire element incorporated throughout the water feature. We got a stack of 3 here, a stack of 3 there, and a stack of 3 there. But it kind of like leads you around, it kind of pulls you through here. And then you got another little falls right here, so you have that sound as you kind of come around the corner.
I wanted that action. I didn't want this side to feel dead. You know, I wanted you to feel like you were just surrounded by water, like you're just going through this corridor.
It really draws you in. Then you come walking in, and then of course the view from back, when you're standing here looking back here with all of the fish, it's interesting from every angle. You hit it from every angle. And since if this was someone's backyard, they'd go into their home office or their shed steers outdoor area, they would be just enjoying it, and you wanted to see it from all the different angles.
That's what's important when you're designing or planning your backyard, is to think about how you're going to interact with it. You know, I like to create these multiple tight, comfortable little areas where it's not just like this massive expanse, but where a group of 6 people can sit around in a circle.
And we were. Everybody was hanging out or having lunch. What's fun for me as the owner of the company is to invite the teammates and their kids. And it's got to be fun for you to see how people are going to interact with this. Water is such a magnet for kids. And the element of the fire and the water is like a perfect combination. Like, I'm the pond guy, I'm not the fire guy, but I got to tell you, these new fire features that Aquascape is selling this year, I'm going to try to incorporate in every single design, because it just creates the mood. It's the same type of a mood. A waterfall, the fire, it all kind of incorporates together.
Fire's awesome. It gives you that soft, warm light, and it's welcoming. It's like this campfire type atmosphere. It's awesome.
We come turning around here, and I love this, right outside the patio area here, and I love the fact that you've got the fire element here and the waterfall in the background. It's literally that double thing with the, obviously, the fire pit in the back. This whole area right here, it's just relaxing. And in today's day and age, with as much technology and as much stress and people working from home, who wouldn't want a spot like this?
This is like the most epic home office right here, with this out the front, you know?
It's so hard to tear these down, but this is why we enjoy them every minute possible. This will be this will be alive for 24 hours, and we'll probably be back there for 20 of those 24 hours, just relaxing and enjoying it. This whole fire pit area here, there's a reason to come back here. Right? So you want to sit around this fire, and when you're sitting back here, you can't even see the pond.
We talked about bringing the stream the whole way back here, maximizing every square inch of this little area, but sometimes I think almost like holding back, less is more.
Sure.
In a way, and I wanted to kind of create this destination area back there that pulls you into this back corner. You feel secluded, you're having a private conversation with your friends, but we wanted to leave this gap between the trees
for the vertical element.
360 viewing of the bowls.
So I gotta ask you, everybody's gonna be wanting to know, what would it take for Tussey to replicate this in someone's backyard?
As a budget?
Yeah, what would you be looking, and how would you go walk people through the budget? Because I know Tussey's got a pretty unique way of doing that on your website.
Yeah, so we have a project planner on our website where you kind of go through and pick out your elements and gives you an idea of what you can expect to spend, which is great for an educational tool.
Yeah.
That way, if you have a $100,000 picture in your mind and a $5,000 budget, you know where you're at, you know?
Yep.
Alternatively, it's clarity. People like to know what's it cost, transparency. But anyway.
And so every one of these elements can be broken down.
That's right.
So a project like this, you might do all at once, or you might do in phases for somebody.
We actually do quite a bit of that, where people have this vision like this, and they have a certain budget, and so we break it into 2 or 3 phases. But Brian and I were actually talking about that. I think this project in this area like this is a $140,000 to $180,000 water backyard, not just the water feature.
Yep.
You have a lot of decisions that you can cut or add, but in that range.
So it truly is a Ferrari backyard, but the reality is, unlike a Ferrari that you might only drive on a Sunday seasonally, this you'd be able to enjoy 365 days a year. You can certainly keep the fire elements going. You can keep some of the waterfalls going. It's a big pond. You got the fish. Hopefully, when you guys are seeing all of these things, it's inspiring you to pick up little things that you would like. As a designer, I love the creativity that you guys put together with the bowls coming from, the window going in. This is every bell and whistle in somebody's backyard. But you know, if you want to start off with an 11 by 16 foot pond, you can do that, because that's kind of our bread and butter, is just small backyard water features.
And the truth is, like, these are extremely grand with every bell and whistle, like you said. I think you get just as much of enjoyment out of an 11 by 16 with some lilies and some fish in there. It's not the size, really. It's the experience.
It's the experience. So Tussey does a great job on your YouTube channel, which is Tussey.
Yep, Tussey Landscaping. We'll be putting out some videos alongside of Team Aquascape on this project as we go through the whole construction process, the challenges we ran into, the things we were like, oh, is that going to work?
Yep.
You know?
And all that, but it all comes together in the end, and it actually did work. Thank you. Okay, and you are a talented young man. You have a fantastic team. Still one of the best crews that I've ever seen in all the Certified Aquascape Competitor Network. Hit a home run, grand slam out of the park. This is why I love to say, I love my job.